Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray.
Hi, John. I'm glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you too, Miss Peggy Burton,
Oh,
my co-host, my friend,
were you in a storm this week?
my sister.
Your sister?
Sister. She's my other sister. I got two sisters, you and Miss Candy.
I know. I feel honored to be your sister.
Well, you are.
I always
you are.
wanted a brother. You know, I love my sister more than life itself, but we wish we had a brother.
We've been doing this together on this show for what, 15 years probably?
Well, I guess at least.
At least that. And then before that, worked together at South Jackson.
If you know me, I have no records. I keep
No records.
I have no records.
Nah, we don't care. This gal right here doesn't keep one scrap of paper that's unnecessary.
I just don't have room. I spent all night trying to clean out my house, you know, just stuff that you sit down and then you look at it and you think, why do I have this?
Why?
So, anyway,
Well,
once in a while we all need to do that. Just
yes,
clean out
purge.
the garbage out of our head, out of our
Purge.
life, and out of our house.
purge.
Purge.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We get
You know,
lazy and can't do
we've
it.
a lot going on in town. Last night, the board of mayor and aldermen in the hiring process, I think we had 30 some odd people that put in an application for the city administrator.
How wonderful that many people
And,
want to
well, I mean,
help
people
our
are looking for
city.
jobs.
Well, yeah.
You know, and it narrowed down to 4, and then one of the 4 didn't come. There were 3 came to town. Well, 2 were in town. One is the acting city administrator, the fire chief, Kenny Pearson.
Yeah.
It was one of the final 3. There was a gentleman from somewhere off that wasn't from here.
Out yonder.
Out yonder. And then Jason Quick, who was the principal
Right.
at the high school. And there was a fourth one. One of the 4 didn't come for interviews. So we had 3
Does
really.
that leave him out, or will they?
Well, no, they won't. I mean, if a guy doesn't care enough to come to an interview, he
I would
ain't gonna
think,
get
yeah.
it. Period.
What if he was really sick?
If he's really sick, but he didn't.
He
He
didn't
wasn't
come.
really sick. He said, "I ain't coming."
Oh, okay.
That simple. And so we ended up having a nomination, which is how that goes. There's certain ways that you have to go through the process
Right.
in a government appointment like that or hiring. And the nomination ended up with 2 candidates, which was Kenny Pearson and Jason Quick. And then the vote
2 good men.
the vote was 5-2 for Jason Quick. The 2 that voted for Kenny Pearson were Ray Noas and Daniel Berry.
Okay.
So Jason Quick,
is
if
the-
he accepts
Will be the new
the
city.
deal, whatever the deal is, they're having putting a package together for him
To read and decide.
to decide, and you know what they're going to pay him. And I thought, well, you know, I mean, the job is the job. I mean,
It's a job.
it's
Yeah.
no. I mean, we paid I mean, it's public record what they get paid.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
understand why they were trying to figure out what the pay was going to be.
I would think
You know,
that would
you're
already
you're
be.
hired.
Yeah.
You know, it's like saying, okay, this woman, and I don't know what they get paid, but anybody. It's government money. It's taxpayers' money. You can go on the city website and see what the city administrator gets paid.
Gets paid, right.
But what anybody that works for the city gets paid.
Well, I think he's
Pretty
a good-
much, I guess.
I think he's a
tax
good
dollars
man.
money,
I feel-
taxpayers'
yeah.
money. But they're putting that together for Jason, and then I think they will probably have a meeting next Tuesday and present him with what they think is a acceptable offer to him to
for
take
him
the
to
job,
take the
and he'll
job,
either accept it or go, well, no, I'd like to have a little of this, and they'll all be there so they can make whatever changes
Right.
they need at that point. And then he will be on somebody said need a contract. Well, Jody Boss was the city administrator for 22 years with no contract.
So now they've got to have a contract.
Well, no, not really. They don't. By the bylaws of the city, they don't
It's
have
not
to have a
necessary.
contract.
Yeah,
But they can.
sure.
You know, they can, but they don't have to. And as Alderman Glick brought up, the city administrator will be on probationary hiring for 3 months. And in 3 months, if they need a
If they're-
contract, they'll figure it out. They have
That
3
seems
months to
right.
figure it out.
And
you
if
know.
they're not satisfied, they'll
Not
get someone
satisfied,
else.
he's out.
Yeah.
Find another one.
That's probably a good way to do it. I have no idea what it must be a very big job.
Well, it's the biggest job in the city.
Right. To be a
I
city
mean, the Board of Mayor and
administrator.
Aldermen do not run the city. The city administrator
Right, it
runs.
is.
The Board of Mayor and Aldermen have one employee, the city administrator.
Yeah.
Everybody else that works in the city works for the city administrator,
I see.
not the board.
Not the
city
board.
administrator who runs the city for the board.
I understand that.
So that's what we have there. And what we ended up with is we have two local people who were qualified for the job.
And care enough about the city to run for the
And
job.
both of them are still now employed by the city.
Yeah.
Because Kenny Pearson will go back to being fire chief,
Right.
which he is a wonderful fire chief.
Yes, he is.
He was forced into doing what he was doing because there was nobody else there to do
Yeah.
it as the interim for 6 months. So he gets to go back
So
to
he gets to go
his
back
job.
to his job, and
And then we'll have someone else taking care of the city administration,
Yeah.
which will be Jason Quick. And we'll see how it all goes.
well, I hope it goes well. Did the
I do
meeting?
too, because
did
it's
the meeting
time
go
to-
5 hours?
It's time, no, it wasn't, but well, let's see, 5:30 to 8:30,
That's not too bad.
3 hours.
That's
But
better.
they ended up talking about, we still have an issue of Costa Bryce, who is our HR person, who is on paid leave for over 6 months now, 7 months. And they're trying to figure out what to do with her, and so that's a whole nother situation.
That story can wait.
That story, well, no, I mean, it's, who knows? They'll have to come to some resolution.
Sure.
Because you just can't leave. Well, you can't keep paying. And I don't know what her pay is, but you know, most of those jobs like that pay $75,000 to $100,000 probably.
That's a lot of money to me.
A lot of money to have someone sitting at home drawing that money and not working.
I would think.
You know, so we'll see how all that washes out.
I love your flowers today.
Well, I figured it's time, not quite time to bring out the pumpkins and stuff, but it is sort of fallish
Sort of
a little
fallish.
bit with sunflowers. And you know, we've had a lot of sunflowers around town.
I love sunflowers when you see fields of sunflowers, but people that grow them as a crop, they get a little aggravated when everybody goes swarming out there to get their picture made,
Sure.
stepping and standing on the sunflowers.
Well-
But it is a beautiful spot for a picture.
Do you ever go to Nicholas to eat?
I have. Yes.
Petros Pisanos and his family
Yes.
run that place. At one point, Petros started planting sunflowers. And the sunflowers that you see around town, inside town,
he did all those?
he goes out and plants those.
How wonderful.
And he plants them on, Petros owns several properties in town, but he also finds other properties that are in a nice place and asks the people if he can plant
He can plant his
sunflowers there. And
sunflowers.
he plants sunflowers.
We
And-
always had sunflowers. My father bought them, planted them, I guess, to give the seeds to birds and whoever. But they were this big, huge.
And it's, they're an industrious family. Their children both have always worked in that restaurant from the time they were this tall. And they're the ones that started the sunflower deal because they like sunflowers. And when they were little bitty, they would sell sunflowers, $1 a flower.
How sweet.
And, they're always industrious and figuring
Yeah.
out a way to learn how to be
To learn how to
an entrepreneur and a business
and make
person.
a little money.
Yeah,
There
well,
you go. Everybody
A lot of
needs-
people, a lot of these kids go through life, and you just has money handed to them. When they go away, they don't know what to do without somebody handing
I
them
was
money.
not one of those children.
Me either.
However, I'm not complaining.
Me either.
I had a happy childhood, and I was proud to earn my dollar for shucking corn a week.
There you go. Penny a bale to the barn,
There you go.
hauling hay.
I would.
Can you imagine that? You pick it up in the field, it's 80, 90, 100 degrees. You throw it on a wagon. You go around the field till the wagon's full. You take the wagon to the barn and you throw that usually up in a loft. You have
Right.
to get it up in the loft and stack it in the barn, and you get 1 penny for every bale that you put in the barn.
Well, I don't remember what I got.
Penny a bale.
Yeah, I
That's
kind
what we
of.
got paid.
I was kind of a weird person. I thought we were playing most of the time, and I worked just like the boys
It was
worked.
fun.
But my sister didn't quite take it that way. It was work to her. I just didn't. It didn't bother me. And I just felt like, well, that's
The
what
one
we,
thing that-
that's what we do.
The one thing that we did, and we hauled for several people, but it was always fun to haul for Dr. King
Because
on King's Lane
Yeah.
on Country Club Drive right there, because he had that big house and he had that farm, and that's before the Country Club built the back 9 and took up sort of that part of that property. Because when it was lunchtime, all of us would get to come to that big house.
and go inside and
And
eat.
no, we ate around the swimming
Oh.
pool. They set tables up.
What fun.
And the lady who was cooked for them would have fried chicken, fried corn,
Oh my goodness.
tomatoes and cucumbers, mashed potatoes and
Fried
gravy. And we would, the lunch was worth more than getting the penny a bale.
Sure, that's
And
great.
we all ate a big, nice lunch and sat there and rested a little bit and back off.
Back
we
off
went.
to the
Yeah,
field.
sure did.
What a neat memory.
Yeah,
They knew how to make you all want to come there to work.
come there to work.
That's what
That's
it
right.
was,
Nobody cared about the penny a bale. We just wanted to eat lunch
When
there.
they get something to eat, a decent lunch.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'll tell you what we want to do too is last week, a lot of things happened, but one of the things that did happen is Tom Corrington, who was one of our cohorts here for years. There's a picture of Tom. Tom celebrated his 96th birthday.
That's fabulous. What a great person.
And we were over at the, let's see, what is that one?
I don't.
There's Sue. There's Tom and Sue, and
Sweet.
they are like peas and carrots.
Do you know how long they've been married?
35 years, 40 years, something like that. Tom, that was Tom's, I think Tom's second wife.
Okay.
Second
Well,
wife.
he's a wonderful
They didn't have
couple.
any children together.
Yeah.
So, but, and then something else that happened this week, and we're going to go ahead and show that to you now too, is Tullahoma High School went to Manchester, Coffee County, and won the coffee pot
So
back.
proud of them.
The score was 16-0, and it was, you talk about your offense, and you talk about your defense, and you talk about your special teams, which is your kicking team, your punting team.
Right.
Their special team play was almost perfect. There was a little young man, number 3, Johnson, who caught the punts when they got punted to us. Caught every punt. I think the ball hit the ground maybe once. And what happens is if you don't keep up with the game, if the punt returner doesn't catch the ball, a lot of times that ball will hit the ground and roll 15 or 20 yards downfield. Very important for the returner to catch the ball.
And he was on it every time.
He was on it. Every kickoff, and this is Grant Chadwick kicking, was out of the end zone, which means the other team can't return it.
Right.
They have to take it on the 20, which means you don't have any long runs on the kickoff. Perfect. Every punt that he punted was probably over 45 to 50 yards.
That's pretty amazing.
He
isn't it?
kicked 3 field goals.
Wow.
1 field goal from 53 yards,
That's awesome.
1 field goal from 48 yards, and 1 field goal from 43 yards.
That's pretty amazing.
It's college level
I would say.
kicking. And I asked Philip if he could pull up some of that, and let's see what we got. Demi's number 8. And watch this. This is a 43-yard field goal. And that's not counting the 10
Thank
in the
you.
end zone. So really,
I
it's a
appreciate that.
53-yard field goal. So that young man kicked a 53-yard field goal, a 48-yard field goal, and a 42-yard field goal.
Is he headed for college next year?
He can go anywhere he wants to go to school.
I would think.
And the thing about it is he's a great field goal kicker, but what he can do that a lot of high school kickers can't do is he can punt the ball way up in the air, and he can punt the ball where you can't even see it.
That's amazing.
And which is what college and pro is looking for.
Yeah.
They want the ball up in the air to where that receiver who catches it has people standing around him when he catches the ball where he can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
If you punt it flat and the receiver gets the punt returner gets it like running headed towards you, then that's when your long runs happen. But when it's coming down like this, and he can do that.
He can do it. That's wonderful.
So he's a weapon for Tullahoma High School, and we lost our first game 21-7 to a 6A team, which is the next level above us. Coffee County is a 6A. We won that last week. This week we're going to Rockvale, which is on the other side of Murfreesboro, which is a 6A team.
6A.
So we're starting our season playing teams that should be bigger, faster, stronger, and better. So when we get through with these 3 games and we back off and play in our own region, we should be ready to play some really good football.
That's a tribute to these young
Coach.
Well, coach.
It's a
but
tribute
these
to the
young,
coach to
young
set the
people
season
that,
up.
that admire and respect what he has them do, and they're
Yeah, that's right.
working for him. That is,
That's right.
You're right.
So it's great stuff going on. I was thinking the other day about, I write, y'all know that. I was thinking about my ink.
Your ink.
My ink. What kind of, do you like a certain type of pen that does a certain thing?
Well, I like a pen that'll actually write. When I
Write
pick it
for
up.
you? Well, this
You got a
I
certain
wanted
pen
to
that
write
you
about.
love.
I wanted to write about ink, and if you're perceptive, which most of you are, you'll realize this is about more than ink.
Okay.
Your ink, the flow of the ink on the page can be a very descriptive tell into the writer's state of being. Obviously, I like bold, dark ink delivered with a sure hand. Sometimes, though, the script may be thin and shaky due to indecision of one sort or another. So remember that just like the clothes you wear represent your personal style, your ink displays the strength of your thoughts. Always consider the character of your ink.
That's very good.
P.S. Is the pen mightier than the sword? I am sure that if given the proper number of barrels, ink can extinguish the torches of tyranny.
Very good, John.
So pay attention to your ink, that you put on the page or that you spew forth in front of others.
And be careful, really, what you put on a
What you say.
page, because somebody's going to read it.
They're listening.
They're listening.
And
You're right.
they all got an opinion. So somebody probably won't like that, but I really don't care. We'll be back after these messages.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats!
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network. Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman. And this is Pat Welch and John. We're here for segment 76. 76. Conversation 76 Pickup Sticks.
We were on the Ralph Emery Show, and one way I guess we solidified ourselves with the show.
I don't want you to be too humble. It wasn't one appearance. It was several times.
Oh, yeah. For about 11 years, we were there as semi-regulars. He asked us to be regulars one time, but we told him we had families and jobs, and we couldn't do that.
We had a school system to back up.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
That's right. I want to keep my job and educate kids and stay around and pal with you guys here.
That's right. We can't all be hobnobbing off in Davidson County.
I'd seen too many failures in Nashville. I wrote some songs for the Ralph Emery Show, and I believe
you didn't want your demise to be like Hank Williams. That's good, John.
I believe that the reason we stayed with the show so long is we flattered them, you might say, by singing songs about the show. Yeah. And this is a little song I wrote called "Oh, I Wonder, I'd really like to know about my morning heroes on the Ralph Emery Show. Oh, I wonder if Ralph Emery ever gets 8 hours sleep. I wonder if Sonny Burnett ever gets up from his seat. And why does Spider Wilson always wear that sheepish grin? Tell me, is Norm Ray crazy, or is he 3 sheets in the wind? Oh, I wonder why we never see Fred Frederick on TV. Oh, wonder if Jerry Arnold's a master teacher level 3. And I wonder if Alan Williams and Tommy Lewis might be kin. Billy's proud of Madison, but is Madison proud of him? Oh, I wonder, I'd really like to know about my morning heroes on the Ralph Emery Show. Oh, I wonder why Jerry Whitehurst and Keith Bilbrey fuss and fume. And why do women smile when Tom Grant just walks into a room? And I wonder why Jerry Whitehurst wears a cap to hide his hair. Reckon he wears a cap, but because there's nothing under there. Oh, I wonder if Maud and Dorothy ever double date. How did Killer and Lightning ever get those kind of names? And when Kenny Starr and Darlene or Laurie sing those sexy lullabies, do I detect a speck of lust in Kenny's eye? Oh, I wonder, I'd really like to know about my morning heroes on the Ralph Emery Show. And I wonder most of all how we got on the show. Proof it's not how good you are, it's all in who you know. Oh, I wonder, I'd really like to know about my morning heroes on the Ralph Emery Show. Oh, man, what a song.
John, that was awesome. I'm telling you what, you left no bases unturned. Everybody that could ever been anybody on that show.
Well, you know, the commercial people who
was
did
a janitor in that list.
Fellas who did the commercials, you know, for the different places that advertised through them, they were as important to the show.
Oh, yeah.
They'd come in there, don't moan, don't groan, come on out to Sloan's. Yamaha and Murfreesboro, and then you had people selling siding. Earl Cullum was one of their guys on the show, and he was mischievous. Hey, and then that was from Carthage and Lafayette. McCall, yeah. The good people. But we were pretty tied in with the show, which it flattered us to be that way. We were asked to go to D.T. McCall's and perform a little bit. We went to Ralph Emery Day over McEwen, Tennessee. We palled around with all of them, had a good time, but we never let it go to our heads. We stayed humble, you might say. But this is the little song that Philip, the little segment that Philip's going to show from the Ralph Emery Show. It's a segment with us doing a song about, hey, Ralph, when are you going to let us back there on the show? And Philip, go ahead and run this.
I'm excited, John.
I'm delighted. I'm privileged this morning to bring you live and direct from Chapel Hill, Tennessee, us two and him. Hey! Thank you. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
Since all the talk today is about the big sponsors outhouse race, which is going to be tomorrow at the Fairground Speedway, to which you are all invited to come out and watch the blood, guts, and gore. Don't you guys, if I remember correctly, you guys have an outhouse race song, don't you?
Yeah, we were talking about that a while ago.
You want to sing it?
John will have to think on the words. See,
yeah, there are a lot of them.
There's a lot of words in it, so he may come up with that, and none of them rhyme. I don't know why he wrote it in the first place, but it's a good song.
Oh, you're not going to sing it now?
No.
Oh, okay. What are you going to sing?
We've got a little song, and if you will, just stand right there, and Jimmy, you might want to come over, but Johnny will do a little choreography here, and
wait a minute. What is this?
We hadn't been on the show in some time, and we wrote a little special little ditty. Okay, so
is this a protest song?
Huh?
Is this a protest song?
We hope you've got a sense of humor, Ralph. We were still nervous and excited the day we were invited to the Ralph Emery Show. Yes, it seemed like just yesterday we wrote that song. Actually, it was a couple of years ago, and time passes and you sit by the telephone waiting for it to call to get to do a repeat. We knew it was going to be winter when we got to come back because they said it would be a cold day when they called. Hey, Ralph, when you going to let us back there on your show? It's been 2 long years and we think you ought to let us know. Well, we've mowed your grass and we've trimmed your hedge, and last winter we shoveled your snow. So, Ralph, when you gonna let us back there on your show? Say, Ralph.
What?
You said one time that we'd have to pay our dues, but we didn't know that was ironing your shirts and polishing your shoes. Now we've scratched your back, so we want you to scratch ours, or just say the word and we'll go. So, Ralph, when When you gonna let us back there on the show? Come on, Ralph, we're as good as we're gonna get. We'll do better this time. You ain't heard nothing yet. We got our Stellas tuned up, and we sound just like the Statlers, except for that chubby guy who sings real low. So, Ralph, when you gonna let us back there on the show? Say, Ralph. What? We ain't pretty like Lori Morgan or Miss Darlene. True, that's true. That's true. But we take a lot of pride in keeping your carpets clean. Now, we don't mind so much just being your slaves, but we're afraid you might be leading us on. So, Ralph, when you gonna let us back there on the show? Come on, Ralph, we're as good as we're gonna get. We'll do better this time. You ain't heard nothing yet. We got our Stellars tuned up, and we sound just like the Statlers, except for that chubby guy who sings real low. So, Ralph, when you gonna let us back there on the show? When you gonna let us back there on the show? Oh, God, he's smiling.
Well, it worked.
Yeah,
it worked
real good today.
Yes, it worked. It worked. You did it, and you're back.
Yeah, we're excited.
That's cute. I love
First
that.
time we've heard that song, too. Yeah, we're really excited.
Friend,
We really hadn't
you write
tried
that
it
on your way up I-65 this morning? All right.
If the traffic had been worse, we'd got another verse.
John, that was magnificent.
Oh,
that was magnificent.
Now the words, we hadn't gone over that hardly at all, and the words were on cardboard pieces out in front of us, you know, and so Phil was reading the words off of the cardboard. We're about through with this segment, but Ralph wrote us a nice letter one time when we had our 45th anniversary of us to and him. He wrote us this letter sent by Keith Bilbrey to us. You always delivered outstanding entertainment, and to think that you remembering 40 years, that was our 40th year, making people happy, clapping their hands, stomping their feet while throwing laughs at the greatest show on television. 70% of all the people who watch television in the morning watch the Ralph Emery Show.
And it was unrehearsed, unplanned. They just and really, Ralph ran the whole thing.
He had
kind of
total
orchestrated.
control.
Yeah,
total control. So many people still ask about you. I'm proud to say I was always proud of you. I'm sorry I can't attend this evening's festivities. We had a little party. I'm confined to quarters because of carotid surgery on Monday morning. Please pray for me. All the best, Ralph Emery.
Is that not great?
Isn't that great?
It is.
Well,
it is.
Glad to share this with you. I hope everybody enjoyed that.
One that was it Ray? What was
Norm Ray?
Norm Ray. Yeah. He was a saxophone player, wasn't
he? He was just wild as everything. Yeah. He was wild. I don't know where he's passed away. A lot of these people have passed away. Sonny Burnett was the steel guitar player, and that's why I said he never gets up off his seat. He just sits on his steel guitar stool. And then I messed up on some of the words about Kenny Starr and Darlene and Lori, but
that's all right. I noticed it, but did you notice this time I didn't bring it up?
Thank you, everyone.
Segment 76 is in the books. It was fantastic. There's more stories to come. We played for management, but please let us come
Thank you, Channel 4, for letting us air that.
That's also correct.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
dogs take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. You're going to be so glad you hung around for this segment. I've got Keith Cornelius from Manchester, Tennessee on the set with me today. And actually, you're a teacher at the high school, aren't you?
I'm the attendance director.
Oh, the attendance director. Okay, well, that's a big deal.
Oh, yes.
I hope everybody's attending like they're supposed to.
We hope so.
We're here to change the subject from school to directing a play at South Jackson Civic Center. Let's give the dates first.
The dates will be September 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Oh, that's like next week.
That's right, at 7 p.m. and Sunday, September 10th at 2:30 p.m. Mm-hmm.
Tickets are online, southjackson.org, tickets.
Right.
And you can find your seat and hope you'll get one.
That's right.
And so I want to talk to you about directing because I don't think you've done that before.
I haven't. This is my first time at directing.
And what in the world led you to do it?
Well, I've been in so many productions, I wanted to experience it from that side, the directing side.
It's a whole different
And yes, it's
side.
a whole different perspective. And plus, it just gives you a chance to kind of, okay, let's put your product out there and just
you get to
gives
mold
that.
it.
I get to mold it.
And
I
make
get to
it
kind of
happen.
shape it, make it happen, make it come to life. And
The thing that impressed me most, it's Sorted Lives, by the way. I didn't even mention the name of the play. And were you the one that picked that?
I did. I pitched it, and
You thought we needed a laugh, didn't
that's
you?
exactly right. Everybody does right now.
I
think.
know.
All of us.
And I think this play is all about laughing.
It is. It's a comedy, and you will not be disappointed. It's about situations in everyday life that people actually do encounter.
Oh yeah.
And the writer of the play actually based it upon his own experiences. So
I didn't realize that. Who is the writer?
Del Shores.
Del Shores. Okay.
And he's done
And
actor, director, producer.
And obviously great at comedy.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I guess you're thinking Sordid Lives. That sounds a little risque. But what is the rating on this?
The rating is PG-13, and
Good.
I want to assure everyone that we, with the writer's permission, naturally, we did scrub all F words out.
Okay.
We scrubbed all what I call foul expletives, such as the GD, and I don't like that at all.
I don't either.
And that doesn't play well. It doesn't add anything to the story, and it doesn't subtract.
It's still
either.
hysterical.
It's hysterical, and we've substituted things in place of that, so that we do have a healthy PG-13 rating.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
You told me you had 14 people in the
14 cast.
Is there a balance of men and women? Or?
Yes, there actually is. I think there's 6 men, 8 women. I believe that's right. No, the females, the women characters, they're the lead characters. Everything centers around them.
Okay.
So.
Because I haven't actually seen this.
No, but everything centers around them. Their mother, she's been a fine, upstanding Christian woman in the community, but she's carried on a secret affair.
Oh, okay.
And she hit her head in a motel room on a sink while having this affair. She tripped over his wooden legs. And that's what's caused that's where we start to spiral down and go from there.
And I think you're going to find out in life, almost everybody might have a sordid story out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
They're not necessarily going to advertise it.
That's right. That's right. It doesn't always get caught up with. But that's what sets the chain of events in place. And the sisters, they each have very opposite personalities. Their aunt, she tries to hold the family together. She has a very different type of personality. And then their brother has a very, very different personality. He thinks he's in a mental institution because his mama and daddy put him there.
Yeah.
And because they said he couldn't live in regular society. His character's name is Brother Boy. And he was portrayed in the movie and play by Leslie Jordan, who's been in millions of productions that we unfortunately lost last fall in a car accident.
Right, that's sad.
And he's from Chattanooga, Tennessee. He went to Macaulay High School, Leslie Jordan did, so he's rather close.
His roots are Tennessee, and so these characters
Mm-hmm.
are probably based on people he grew up with.
That's correct, and people that Del Shores grew up with in Winters, Texas.
Yeah.
He was born in Winters, Texas, and he's based these characters on life experiences that he had actually growing up. So it's very Southern, and they're not caricatures or cartoon characters at all, and they're not played as such, they're not portrayed as such. Now, getting back to Brother Boy, he thinks he's Tammy Wynette. So he has a Tammy Wynette fixation, and it's quite hilarious. And then Dr. Eve Bollinger, she is the psychiatrist at the mental institution that is trying her best to, quote, de-homosexualize Brother Boy.
Oh, I see.
So it's hilarious. I mean, what they go through, and I mean, anybody, even the cast members that sit out there during rehearsals are dying laughing.
I was just thinking about Carol Burnett and the way she used to break up on.
Yes.
That's what's happening in your rehearsals, I'll bet.
Yes, very much so. I thought about that in fact, it's odd you mentioned that. I thought about that last night at rehearsal.
And you know, that's the one thing I miss most on television these days is live TV, because I think we lose so much of the comedy by having canned laughter. I love it when people laugh because it's really funny.
And with comedy and with...
About how long is this play?
This play would be, it should run, we start at 7 with a 15-minute intermission. We should be out by 9:15 to 9:20.
Sounds good. And you have 4, it's kind of a 4 set.
Yeah, 4 chapters.
Chapter,
Four chapters. We start out at Sissy Hickey's home, then we moved to a bar room, then we moved to the psychiatrist office.
Who's your set
then we moved
person?
to the church. The
Who's
set,
doing the set? Yeah. Did
well,
you do that?
I kind of did that along with Cynthia Laughlin, David Laughlin.
Oh, they're a good group.
Yes,
to work with.
Ben and Stephen Yates and Randall King, and they're in the play too. And they helped with set. They're very good set people. And of course, Ben Farrell, he's assistant director. He has a very good eye for lighting and people placement, even some that I may have blocked. And we get on stage with the lighting, and he may place them differently.
And Sid Wing, is he doing the sound for you?
Sid is doing the sound. Sid is a fantastic sound man.
I'm real proud of the sound system at South Jackson right now.
Very much improved.
It's been, since he's come in, we have bought a lot of really good equipment, and the lighting.
The lighting is
so much better
now. Yes.
And it's fun to do an event when you've got all those tools.
Absolutely.
To help you with it.
You can even change the wash of the color on the set with the lights, and people don't realize that.
When I mentioned, how many, does it have 4 different sets, or is it all
the sets are static. We just change the furniture. We change the outlay of the furniture. And so that makes it easier too. And thanks to Melissa Sharam, give her a shout out, because
Melissa,
we have her jukebox.
I don't know how Melissa was able to stay there, because I know she was laughing all the time.
We have her jukebox in the scene.
That's great.
And, so she's a real trooper.
And do you set it in this? Is it set in today's time?
It is. It's actually set in the year 1998, but it's still very apropos. I mean, there's not very many changes at all in it, so we're doing really well.
Do you know how much the tickets are?
Tickets are $20.
If you buy them now.
If you buy them now.
Ahead of time.
I think, yes.
That's a good deal.
It's a very good deal for what you get.
Sorted Lives at South Jackson, and next weekend.
Next weekend.
Not Thursday. Friday, Saturday.
No, Thursday.
Oh,
Thursday,
it is a Thursday
Thursday,
show.
Friday, Saturday.
Okay, that's my mistake.
And Sunday matinee at 2:30.
So there's 4 productions.
There are. Yes,
that's
ma'am.
great. So get your
please
tickets
come
now.
out. We need
Bring
you.
your mom and them.
Yes, we
Bring
need
everybody.
you. We
Yeah.
need you out there. South Jackson needs you.
We need to hear people just bubbling over with
Yes,
laughter.
absolutely.
And I hope that we can make that happen.
And
I
you'll get it.
I think it's going to happen. I'm anxious to see something that just makes me laugh out loud.
My goal is for your sides to hurt when you leave. That's right.
You know, I think about when I was in college, I was in a play, and I don't know if I still have this line right, but this has prompted me all my life and given me hope is, and if I laugh at any mortal thing, it is that I may not weep. I don't know if you know why it affected me so, but I feel that laughter is so important.
Absolutely.
That regardless what's happening in your life, all the ups and downs, if you can laugh sometimes, it's a relief of tension.
It sure is.
And it's great. Well, Keith, after this, what's your next big project?
Well, I am in Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, good.
That Colleen Saunders.
And that's another one. That's another one's going to be
one.
interesting.
We'll be at the outdoor
It'll
theater.
be a little dark.
Yes. And then White Christmas. I'm General Waverly in White Christmas.
Yeah,
They're
we
going
have
to save my inn.
Great theater pieces coming up.
That's
and
right.
These are all 3 very different. And I'm excited for what's happening at South Jackson. I have to give a little credit to Greg Gressel and
That's
Colleen
right.
Saunders.
That's
I
right.
mean, they're just nonstop workers.
Absolutely.
Keith, I'm so glad
Thank
you
you.
came. It was
Thank
great
you.
having you.
Thank
Besides,
you. I
I've known you
appreciate
since
it.
you were, what, 6?
Yes, just about. Just about.
We'll be back.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
Service and quality at Clayton's Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats!
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Good folks in TV land, and howdy, lady camera women, camera ladies. It couldn't be on the screen without y'all. And thank you, John, for that introduction. Let me, if you'd like to be a millionaire, I'm going to ask you, when television came to Tullahoma, I know it was in September. Was it in 1945? Was it 1950? Was it 1955? Or was it 1960? Somebody give me that's your final answer? Well, you'd get a penny, but it came in September of 1950. Channel 8 was first, Channel 5 was second, and Channel 4 was third. 50 years now. And y'all haven't been putting it on the screen for 50 years, but sometimes it seems like it. But isn't it great that we can see action as it's happening? You know, back in the before television, you'd see a newsreel at the movie house and a comedy and then the feature. But the thing about it was, when you saw the newsreel, it was anywhere from a month to 2 or 3 months old, whatever the news was back then. And it's wonderful that we can have it right today. And of course, television is a live photography and motion photography. But now back through the years, before there was television, of course there were motion pictures, but before that there was still photography. No color, just black and white. And photography is a way of communicating with people, with each other. Pictures are a very important part of our lives. And I bet everyone in the viewing audience has in their purse or billfold a picture of their boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or husband or somebody in the family, their children that they like to share. And of course, photography and history and love all have one thing in common. They got to be shared to be worthwhile. And I thought I'd share a little bit about the studios and photography in Tullahoma. Back around the turn of the century, there were a couple of brothers in Tullahoma named Staley. One of them's first name was Booth Staley. I don't remember the other one. They lived on South Jackson Street and had their studio on the second floor of Lawson's Hardware, which is at the corner of Wall Street and Lincoln Street. More recently, it was the home of Goldstein's department store. But the Staleys had the studio upstairs there. They had no flash bulbs and very little artificial lighting, and they use the big windows up there with reflectors to make their portraits and their pictures up there. This is a picture, evidently, can you see it, camera lady, that was made evidently welcoming a welcome delegation from the Chamber of Commerce. And you see the photographer standing up on a chair, all bent over there looking through the back of his camera, making the picture of whoever it is. And I think this was probably made around the turn of the century. And that picture, as were most pictures back then, were made with what we call a view camera. And this is a 5x7 view camera, and the film was a sheet film that was put in a holder and put in the back there, and one film would come out one at a time, and they would focus it and get good sharp picture and then make the picture, and then cover it up with a dark slide and go from there. And then they'd have to take it to the dark room and develop it in a plate holder or a tray with the developer. And of course, all film has to be totally put in holders and developed in absolute total darkness. Otherwise, it would be foggy looking. But this is what's called a view camera or field camera, and it has to be mounted on a tripod, just like your camera is mounted on a tripod, so it will be good and steady. And they're a lot of fun. This one is probably right at 100 years old. I have another camera here that is a 1921 model, and it's called a Graflex view camera. And my mother gave this to my father as their wedding gift in 1921. I had it rebuilt a few years ago and still use it. It makes a picture 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 inches. And one of the famous people that was photographed with this camera was in 1936. We were visiting relatives in Dallas, Texas. Always went out to Love Field to see what was going on out there. And we saw a big crowd of people around the airplane, and my father and I walked up close to it, and there was Amelia Earhart. And Amelia Earhart was demonstrating an autogyro plane in 1936, and we got some close-up pictures of her, and she was lost in the South Pacific the next summer. And we treasure those pictures very much that were made with this camera. And at another time, I'm going to bring some more modern cameras to show you how much smaller they've gotten. And you know, the digital cameras these days and the camcorders and the video cameras are almost taking the day. But they're a lot of fun to use, and they're not hard to use at all. You just have to know what kind of film you're using and what application it's made for. And one of the special pictures, I mentioned the Chamber of Commerce just a moment ago welcoming a delegation to Tullahoma, and I'd like to show you a picture of the president of the Chamber of Commerce today. This happens to me be an early picture of Candy O. And Candy O loved her Heinz beets, and I think on this particular occasion she had a big mouthful of beets and sneezed, and you can imagine the kitchen, the table, the ceiling, and her mom and daddy were totally covered with beets. But that's what pictures and cameras are for. Quickly, after the Staleys came a fellow named Sam Penn that had his studio over the former Locke's Dime Store, and then our longtime friend Paul Pyle had his studio there and on Jackson Street, and our friend the late Bob Plummer had a studio on West Lincoln Street for many years. All of them excellent photographers that recorded not only families but recorded history, and we've been real proud of them for a long time. They were a lot of fun, and they gave much of their profession to the city. And we're going to come back and show you a lot more, because this is not the end of the story. There's a whole lot more to come, and I thank you, and everybody have a real good day.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop-top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. Growing, getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jogging up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, here we are back again, and I've got my friend Jackie Duncan on with us today, and we'll be Duncan with Duncan. If we had a donut to put in some coffee, we'd be Duncan with Duncan.
Hey, you said that right,
Not the Duncan store, but the Duncan man.
There you go, there you go, there you go. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. If I was any better, I couldn't stand it.
Everything going to suit you then, huh?
Everything's going good.
Pretty good?
Yeah, can't complain.
How's the county doing?
Can't complain. County's doing well. County's doing well. The county mayor things working good, and he's hanging in there. He's a blessing to us. So
yeah. He's smart. He's a smart guy.
He is.
Well, I didn't mean to say he's a smart guy. He is intelligent.
Yeah.
But I've known Judd for a long time.
Yeah, I have too.
Judd's one of the hardest working people.
He is.
And he has a very good sense of logistics and management skills to know how to get from A to B.
That's right.
And he brings a lot with him when he brings that. Has there been any more discussion? I know we're going to talk about some other things as well, but has there been any more discussion about this mega site in the county? Is that being talked about much? You know, it was for a while.
Yeah, and there's some talk about it. I'm not, I guess, involved enough to know, to be able to talk fluently about it, but
But the state's bought that property, hadn't they? Yeah. So if the state's bought that property, that means that something's going to happen there.
Oh yeah.
We just don't know what.
We don't know what at the moment, that's for sure.
Now,
couldn't elaborate.
We've got that done and said. One more thing, as a commissioner, home construction in the county. Is there a lot of home construction in the county right now? Housing?
I would be afraid to elaborate on that much, but I know there's always construction going on. You know that. I just don't know if it's a real enough worth talking about I just don't know enough about it to talk about it.
Yeah, I know when you go into Manchester, once you get in the city limits and you look on either side of 55, you look down the street, there's stuff being built down both sides of that street as far back as you can see.
Murfreesboro is coming to Manchester.
Well, it's not just Murfreesboro. It's the rest of the United States is coming to the Mid-South.
I agree.
And they found out how lucky we are.
And I think Murfreesboro is a big draw because Murfreesboro has been, I think, one of the fastest growing city in the United States for quite some time. Yeah. So it's there's always opportunity for development.
Sure.
Area, especially quite a bit of development. So anyway, but I want to say something about my friend Willie Wilson.
Willie Wilson?
You remember Dr. Willie Wilson? He had a plant here a few years ago over in the industrial park in town. And
what did he make?
That's him right there. They make gloves.
Gloves?
Gloves, And don't ask me the exact
type, whatever.
And all that, or the market number or whatever else. I don't. But I think the plant. I don't think it's out there anymore in the industrial park, but it hasn't been for a few years. But he tells his story, and he was just here just recently. He was at my church, Mount Zion Baptist Church, and he brought his orchestra, and he'd been here before, and
he has an orchestra.
Yes. And here's the story.
How come we didn't know that?
Well, we did, kind of. I didn't announce that.
Don't you be talking to me out of the side of your mouth.
I didn't announce it the last time here, but I did get to add to the paper, and it was in the newspaper that he would be here that Sunday. It was Sunday a week ago, Sunday, and but every now and then he comes and he blesses us with a great program. He has an orchestra that he has a beautiful bus. They bus them down, and they had dinner over there. We had dinner. We prepared dinner for them and everything. And they were just a blessing to us. And
now here I am, sitting on this television stage with you. Music man, love music of every kind, and you don't let your old buddy John know that that's going on.
I am so sorry.
You don't come on this stage and tell the community out there, how dare you?
You know, at the time, I didn't know, the last time I was with you here, I didn't have the time and date, everything. This little flyer had not been printed at the time, but this is a flyer with him and picture of him and everything, and he has a great story. His story is that he was a sharecropper. His family was sharecroppers down in Louisiana, and and they I guess he had determination in that he was going to get out of that and do better at some point in time. He was blessed though to get out of that situation and to moved and wound up going to Chicago. I don't know if he went to Chicago first and got blessed with whatever he got into to make his money, but he went to I think he bought his first McDonald's up there after some great luck or just great being blessed. So anyway, he worked at a McDonald's and he wound up buying that one, and then he wound up buying another one, and so he was blessed. And the guy, you should have known this. The guy ran for president a few years ago, president of the United States. He did. But
and he was in Tullahoma, and we didn't know anything about it.
Well, I got an ad to the paper, and the paper got it in the newspaper. But I apologize. I didn't have the information when I was here last time, and I didn't say anything about it, and I regretted that. I said, God, I wish I'd have thought about that, and had the information.
We'll have a discussion about it.
We'll have a discussion about it. I'm sorry. But anyway, there's
ways to get it on the air.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, he was here, and and he really blessed us. It was one lady with him in the group, and I don't know why I didn't get her name, but she really blessed. I was just standing up there casually talking, and people from Chicago were walking by, and one lady was there, and I told her, I said, this lady I'm standing here had my arm around. I said, she just had a birthday. And she was, she was over 90, and I said she just had a birthday, and she said, oh, that's such a blessing. And another lady heard the conversation, and she said she just had a birthday. I said, yeah, she just had a birthday, and she just pulled out a little envelope and started counting out some 20s there, and I thought, oh, that was a blessing. She just blessed that lady with a financial
she
gift.
Blessed her with a roll of $20 bills.
Well, it was a few.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That's what I said. Hallelujah. And so it was.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I started telling her, I got one coming. I got a birthday coming up. Yeah, but anyway, it was. We had a great time.
Good.
We had a great time, and Dr. Wilson's story. His story was it's an honorary doctor's degree, and his story was that he always wanted to sing in a choir, and they would. I just don't think he had the real.
So he bought himself one.
So I said, I'm going to sing in a choir, and that's the story. That's one of his stories.
Good.
And so he formed a choir, and they travel around from time to time. They mostly stay in Chicago, but they come to visit us every now and then. And
next time he comes here, we better know.
You will know.
Yeah.
You will know if
you gonna read something because you're running out of time down here.
Well, I don't have much to. Read, but I always got something in there to read. But anyway, here's one.
Gift of something short.
Okay.
There it is, right there.
Okay. Politeness. Says a cordial smile or kind word, a mere moment of your time, is all it takes to be polite and doesn't cost a dime. So that's
hallelujah to that.
Be polite.
That could not be any more perfect for what's going on in this town.
You're right.
Is that right there?
Yes. Be polite to one another.
That page just opened up like it's supposed to be.
Amen.
Amen.
It's all from the greatest little book that's out there called "Living on Purpose: The Poetry of Life" by yours
Jackie Duncan.
Amen.
There you go, my bud.
Amen.
Thanks, partner.
God bless you.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be back after these messages.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, we're back, and Miss Peggy's back with us, and it's always good when Peggy comes back in the room. She brightens things up.
She does. She does.
That's why I got my red shirt.
You got your red shirt on. If you could look at this television here, folks, it looks like she's wearing Dayglow orange.
It does. It does.
Weirdest thing.
She looks like she needs to be out on the highway with a traffic sign. they won't miss you, Peggy. But that, of course, that's not what's showing on your TV. That's just showing what's on ours.
We had a good time.
Did what?
I was going to say I want to encourage people to go see Sordid Lives because I think we need a good laugh.
Sure. And Tullahoma High School plays at Rockvale this Friday night. Maybe it won't be quite as hot as it was last week. The game didn't start last week till 8 o'clock. They moved it up an hour because of the heat.
Oh, I'm praying all this heat is.
It's about
tone down some, yeah.
I think it has gone down some.
Yeah,
it's bad.
It's supposed to be better, yeah.
But we just want to thank everybody for watching, and remember, one thing I miss about Jimmy Blanks being alderman, I miss a lot of things about Jimmy Blanks being an alderman, but he always said at the end of his report, make sure you shop Tullahoma first.
There you go.
Shop Tullahoma first. You might not be able to find everything you need here, but if you shop around and go to these new stores, that you hadn't been to, because unless you know what's in those stores, you can't say it's not here. What you're looking for might be in one of these new stores that's opened up.
Shout out to Horseplay.
Horseplay, yeah.
Horseplay has worked hard to get, and by the way, we survived Saturday night, the storm and all, and they made money.
Good.
Anyway, Horseplay needs volunteers and support them.
All right, and what we'll do right now is we will take you to South Jackson Goes Country, one of the songwriter sessions.
I wrote for an album that we put out in 1996. And it was celebrating a lot of the songs that I wrote from the late 60s to the mid-90s of the last century. And if you want to listen to some of my other songs, you can go on YouTube or Spotify, and it goes back all the way back to the 70s, some of my songs. This song is about the journey, and I wrote it for my wife, and it's one of those unofficial songs for the Big Sky State of Montana. It's called Being There. After all this time we've been together, you'd think there'd be a line that I knew better, but I just love you. Yes, I love you for all time. Crystal clear blue morning in Montana. We'd ride forever. You'd lose your bandana. Someone asked me lately what really matters anymore. It was being there made it all worthwhile, with the wind in your hair and your face like a child. We didn't care. We get on our horse and ride. After all this time we've been together, you'd think there'd be a line that I knew better, but I just love you. Yes, I love you for all time. And if it all would end today, crystal clear blue in my heart, you would stay. But it was being there that made it all worthwhile, with the wind in your hair and your face like a child. We didn't care. We get on our horse and ride. Ride.